So we are about to look at 6. All right. So what does 6 say? 6 says, Timothy, together with the head boy, has trained the students. Timothy, together with the head boy, has trained the students. So we have Timothy there and we have head boy. They are two, but they are not joined together by a coordinating conjunction. Okay, they are not joined together by coordinating conjunction. Rather, we have removed the coordinating conjunction end and we have replaced it with together with. Okay, we have replaced it with together with. Therefore, the subject is singular. So we underline only Timothy. So it is only Timothy now that trains the what? That has trained the student. So when you underline Timothy, Timothy is our S1. And then you look at the structure together with the head boy has trained. Under that structure has trained. You underline has. So it is has that becomes our V1. So it goes along with Timothy as a singular subject. We go to example 7. So our example 7 says, Helena, as well as my uncle, as well as my uncle was in the hospital. Helena, as well as my uncle was in the hospital. Whenever I hear this name Helena, it reminds me of one lady I came across some years ago, very beautiful and respectful. In fact, I so much admired her, so respectful that I felt it was God that had thrown her on my way. So when I see the name Helena, it reminds me straight of her. Unlike, anyway, we still have some Helenas that are very horrible. They are not friendly at all. Unlike this one, very respectful. Beauty is there and the respect is there. In fact, so let me go directly to it again. Helena, as well as my uncle was in the hospital. So there, you underline Helena, and when you underline your Helena, okay. So let me go about it the way we have been doing to the others. So Helena, as well as, we have removed and and we have replaced it with as well as. So the two of them are not joined together. So Helena and my uncle are not here joined together. They are not joined together by coordinating conjunction. Therefore, Helena is our subject of the sentence. You underline it and your arrow points downward. Then that becomes our S1. So you look at the structure. As well as my uncle was in the hospital. There you look at as well as my uncle. Then was is there. So was is the verb that signifies a singular verb there. So you underline was and was becomes our V1, okay? So we have Helena there as our S1 and we have was, that is the past tense of is, as our V1. So we go to example 8. Example 8 says Mr. John with the principal is leaving the school. Mr. John with the principal is leaving the school. So we have Mr. John. See Mr. John again. When the name Mr. John, it reminds me of my secondary school teacher. That was in the 80s, in 1982. That is end of 82 up to 1987. He was here in Nigeria from Ghana. Okay, he was teaching English language. So when we say Mr. John with the principal, I begin to look at it as if it's my teacher that is leaving the school. Yes. So my Mr. John with the principal is leaving the school. Now let me explain something again. When we say it's leaving, it has two meanings. Either he's going out of the school environment to do something outside and return, or the two of them, the principal they are leaving the school to another school. That is occupational mobility. That's what my mind will be talking about. That's where my mind will go. So we have Mr. John with the principal. With is there. Instead of N, we are using with. So the two of them are not joined together. So Mr. John becomes the subject, and that is our S1, singular subject. And when we look at the structure, with the principal is leaving the school, with the principal is. So you underline is there, that's a singular verb. And when you underline is, the is becomes our V1, okay? So it means we have Mr. John here, and we have is as what do you call it, as a verb that goes along with Mr. John. Singular subject, singular verb. Go to example 9. Example 9 says the electrician with his apprentice is around to do the work. The electrician with his apprentice is around to do the work. So here we have two people there, the electrician, and then we have his apprentice, but the two of them are not joined together by a coordinating conjunction. And is removed, and we replace it with. Okay, so when we replace it with, what happens? It means the electrician is what we are going to underline as our subject. And when we underline it, it becomes our V1. And when we have the structure, the electrician with his apprentice is around. So is becomes our singular verb. You will now underline is. And when you underline is, your arrow will point downward and you write your V1, all right? So we look at the last one, which is of course number 10. Number 10 says, your father together with the doctor has bought the drugs. Your father together with the doctor has bought the drugs. So here, doctor, father and doctor, it is really unusual for a medical doctor to go outside and buy drugs for a patient. So how friendly is your father with a medical doctor? To the extent he would go out and buy drugs for you. Probably there is what do you call it? The relationship is unofficial. They have very cordial relationship. Otherwise, a medical doctor and nurse in hospital, all they do is to take care of your health, and then that is all. But for them to follow you out to where they will buy drugs, it doesn't happen. So, but let's see what we have here. It says your father together with the doctor has bought the drugs. So here we have together with, instead of saying your father and the doctor have bought the drugs. So what we have here is together with. Therefore, the subject of the sentence is your father. And when we take your father as our S1, we look at the structure of the sentence again to the end. That is together with the doctor has bought the drugs. So you look at has there. Has signifies the singular. So you as a verb, okay? So that's the auxiliary verb that signifies singular of the verb. So when you underline it, you write your V1. So has becomes our V1. We have your father as our S1, and we have has as our V1. But let me do what we did to the other sentence, and briefly we did something here. So just look at something briefly for you to, that is as if we are summarizing the very good. So when you are summarizing, this is exactly this is how you go about it. If you are asked to remove the unnecessary items from it, you now say the boy, instead of the boy with his sister is here, you now say the boy is here. So the sister is not part of the subject, so you remove it. So you say the boy is here. Then 2 again, we say the boy together with his sister is here. So you say the boy is here again. Then the other one, you say, go to our example 3. For 3, you see they are very brief now, very, very brief. So for 3, we have the politician with the chief was here. Simple, it becomes the politician was here. It's only the politician that we need as a subject of a sentence. So when we go to from there, we go to 4. 4 says the headmaster with together with our teacher conducts morning assembly. So there you say the headmaster conducts morning assembly. But in a very good summary, you just say the headmaster conducts assembly. You remove morning. It's not every school that conducts afternoon assembly. So you go to 5. For 5, you say the carpenter as well as the welder has left. So for there, you now say the carpenter has left. So we go to example 6. For 6, you say Timothy together with the head boy has trained the students. So you now say Timothy has trained the students. So we go to example 7. Example 7 says Helena as well as my uncle was in the hospital. So it becomes Helena was in the hospital. Example 8 says, Mr. John with the principal is leaving the school. So we say Mr. John is leaving the school. So example 9 says the electrician with his apprentice is around to do the work. I say the electrician is around to do the work. So we have example 10. Example 10 says your father together with the doctor has bought the drugs. Your father has bought the drugs. You can see the subjects go along with the verb. So that is what we have for you today. Till we meet again in the next 24 hours when we are going to look at case 2. Not review, case 2, as we did the last 24 hours. So we go to case 2. So thank you very much for your attention and have a very beautiful evening from B Telly. All right.